She entered the space with understated assurance, her aura drawing every eye in the room. Yet there was no sparkling gown draped across her shoulders, no precious jewels adorning her neck. In their eyes, she appeared unremarkable, someone who had no place in their realm of crystal chandeliers and expensive champagne. The murmurs began initially, followed by derisive chuckling. A black woman had entered their elite gathering. They assumed her arrival was an error. What remained hidden from them was that she wasn't merely an attendee. She held the power to approve a $5 billion transaction that would determine the fate of their entire business dynasty. Hold on a moment. Please share your location in the comments section below. And remember to subscribe to receive more uplifting and motivational stories like this one. Elena Johnson maintained an existence precisely calibrated between exceptional talent and modest demeanor. An entrepreneur who'd achieved success independently, she had constructed her business dynasty through determination, strategic foresight, and an unwavering dedication to justice. Yet in contrast to those who displayed their fortunes ostentatiously, Elena embraced simplicity. She chose unassuming attire, operated an unpretentious vehicle, and prioritized character above superficial impressions. The summons to the extravagant evening affair arrived from a wealthy white family hoping to finalize a multi-billion-dollar alliance. From their perspective, Elena represented merely another prospective financier, unaware that she possessed final authority over the agreement. When she crossed the threshold into their estate, she came ready to assess their principles rather than merely their proposals. Would they demonstrate courtesy? Would they accord her proper respect? She held the conviction that commerce extended beyond mere figures. It centered on moral character. Yet that evening would reveal something far more sinister. An evening that commenced with merriment, the musical chime of crystal glasses, and superficial pleasantries would rapidly descend into vicious degradation. Initially, the hushed remarks were discreet. "Who extended an invitation to her?" someone grumbled, casting a judgmental glance at her modest black garment. Another person scoffed at her unprocessed hairstyle, writing her off as lacking refinement. Elena registered every comment, yet maintained her poise, taking measured sips from her glass with elegance. Then the ridicule escalated. One of the billionaire's male offspring, empowered by the surrounding crowd, made a loud jest suggesting she must have mistakenly entered as domestic staff. The entire space filled with malicious laughter. Even the family matriarch smiled knowingly, her expensive diamond collar catching the light as her eyes traveled critically over Elena's appearance. Not a single person recognized Elena's actual position. To their perception, she was non-existent, a black woman who had no business being there. Yet beneath her serene exterior, her thoughts were working strategically. These were the identical individuals desperately seeking her authorization on a $5 billion agreement. Their hubris blinded them to the tempest quietly building momentum. As the night continued its sluggish progression, the degrading remarks intensified, disguised as harmless humor. Elena withdrew discreetly, her self-respect remaining untarnished. She raised no objection, she displayed no weakness. She simply watched carefully. By the conclusion of the gathering, she had reached her verdict. The contractual documents awaited on her workspace the following dawn. Their commercial dynasty hung on her consent. And at this moment, she possessed within her grasp the ideal opportunity to transform their malice into accountability. The family appeared at Elena's corporate headquarters wearing expansive grins and well-practiced charisma, anxious to finalize the business arrangement. Their statements overflowed with insincere deference as they described advantages and future prospects. Elena remained silent throughout, her expression revealing nothing. When the concluding paperwork was positioned in front of her, the atmosphere grew tense with anticipation. All present anticipated her written approval. Rather than signing, she pushed the documents back toward them. "This agreement is cancelled," she declared with conviction. Disbelief swept across the space. Their dynasty's survival mechanism had just been severed, not due to economic circumstances, but due to their condescension. The identical woman they had ridiculed the previous evening had just demolished their prospects with one decisive action. And in that instant, they understood far too late. Contempt comes with consequences. The information circulated rapidly. The Billionaire dynasty's $5 billion downfall dominated news coverage, sending tremors through corporate offices and financial backers worldwide. Elena never discussed the social gathering in public forums. She had no need to do so. Her choice spoke volumes on its own. This wasn't driven by vindictiveness. This was driven by moral conviction. She intended for society to understand that affluence and influence cannot justify discriminatory behavior. Ethical conduct held greater importance than business agreements, and human worth exceeded monetary value. The family who had previously disparaged her now confronted financial devastation, a stark demonstration of bigotry's true cost. Elena continued onward with renewed strength, leveraging her authority to champion others who faced dismissal and underestimation. And thus the inquiry persists. How many additional dynasties must crumble before humanity comprehends that respect is not discretionary but fundamental? Please share your country and city of origin. Stay well.